This should be played at high volume.
This is the podcast of beats, and their whole team is complete. They feed in the streets, other people can't compete. Shit, you got Carlo, got Kenny, got Baba, got Uncle. You cannot forget Malik, and you got Ski. Yeah, the whole roster elite. They bringing the heat every week.
Showtime.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to The Same Convo, the podcast where we talk everything sports, anime, media, and entertainment. It's your boys, Kenny, Carlo, and Bamba, and this is the anime segment. Today, we got a really fun segment ahead of us, and I just want to start by doing something different. You feel me? By the time this is uploaded, one of us will be celebrating their birthday, you feel me? And I feel like around that time, we will not be recording. So I just wanted to bring everybody, everybody got your attention. Whether you tuning in live, whether you tuning in the radio, on YouTube, whatever. Join us real quick and wish Carlo a early birthday. Yes, sir. That man's getting old.
He's 38. He's 38.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, I want to
oldest member of the show. You feel me?
I want to say thank you. These guys are lying. I'm actually will be turning 24, but I want to say I appreciate everybody.
He really tried. He tried.
28.
Editor, add a picture of his ID with the socials and everything.
Don't.
So people can double check that information.
Put a social up there.
That's fine. That's why I got Kenny social.
But all right, fuck Carlo now. Let us get into this segment. What I wanted us to do today, which I've already started on our Instagram page, on the stories, is determine the best representation of these specific categories I have already laid out. And I'm going to go ahead and give a quick shout out to one of our moderators, Malik, for helping me polish, what I had prepared. And how this is going to work, I would suggest characters that we're going to argue who within their show is a better representation of a specific aspect. You feel me? First one we got, and I feel like this is a good example, is within their show, who is a better representation of the strongest? And for that, I got Jin-Woo, Isaac Netero, and Satoru Gojo. Remember, this is within their verse. So forget about scaling them all over. No, just within their verse, who has done a better concept of being the strongest?
I feel like it's between Gojo and Jin-Woo. But I'm going to say Jin-Woo.
Why is that?
The reason I'm saying Jin-Woo is 2 weeks. Well, in Gojo's sense, we've seen him. Well, he wasn't at his prime yet when he lost to what's dude's dad name?
Toji?
We seen him lose to Toji, and we've seen him get outsmarted and sealed by Geto. But when it comes to Jin-Woo, amongst the other people who are supposed to be the strongest people in his verse, he makes them look trash. And then not only does he make them look trash, he then goes and beats the people that were beating on them and turns them into his minion. OD. So I'm gonna just go with him.
Okay. Hey, man, that's solid. Carly, you thinking hard. What's going through your head?
It's like Kenny didn't say any lies for the first time. Kenny hasn't said no lies. But it's just hard to think because yes, a young Gojo lost to Toji, but Toji was considered to be OD with no curse energy. Jin-Woo, before he got to this point, he did have his fumbles as well. Like, he didn't die, come back, and was just OD from the start. Like, he had to train to do that. And there's even some dungeons that he had to restart and until he got to a point where he could go and, basically run through them. As versus Gojo, where just from when he was introduced, excluding the flashback with Toji, from when he was introduced, there was literally, no matter who it was, student, professor, no matter who it was known that nobody could fuck with him, like, at all. Like, yes, he was outsmarted, but even again, I haven't read the manga or anything like that. Yes, he was outsmarted, but even then, it's like you feel like Gojo wouldn't have let himself get sealed up without. There has to be a reason that happened. It's like he's so strong, you're questioning that. Nah, this is a setup on them. Like, I don't know. I feel I wish I could go more in depth, but I can't. But I'm gonna just go with my pick is gonna be Gojo.
I was tempted to say Gojo simply based off the Shibuya incident. Like when Gojo fought Jogo, he like made him look terrible, but we saw what Jogo did to everybody else. But I'm still going with Sanjin-Woo.
Well, I mean, I like that it's a tie, so that means I'll be the tiebreaker. And I'm leaning more towards Carla's argument. And I feel like for many reasons. First of all, let me say, with Sanjin-Woo, this is why I'm not going with him. I don't think that so far, at least from either the anime or even what I've seen in the manga, because I'm not going to give no spoilers, I have just not seen him as the strongest. However, I've seen him rapidly grow to where that's like, it doesn't make sense. But like whether it's in the anime with like we know the existence of like the national hunters, and we starting to get like a little bit of this lore of as far as like the hunters in the US and stuff like that. Like you can tell that there was still like ceilings for him to climb. You feel me? Like he just ran through the S rank right now. However, he's still not there. But with Gojo, I feel like you gotta go back to one moment, which is when Suguru Geto is turned into him. And the depression that Suguru has went through, what he knows about the society and everything. He just looks at him like ask him a question. And the question just seems kind of mundane when you're just watching the anime. But he asked him, he's like, are you the strongest because you are Satoru Gojo? Or are you Satoru Gojo because you're the strongest? And I'm just like watching, I'm just like, these niggas having a love of Koro or whatever. But that's where the answer lies. Because one, he has one of the most OP eyes in the whole series. And we just look at that as an attribute. But I feel like the reason why the author planted that question there, and I don't want to give you a spoiler, but like he answers it. And that just kind of, I feel like, in my opinion, me and Malik, we had a debate, how it goes with Sukuna and Gojo and whatever. But I feel like those circumstances in the manga later on solidifies that he's the strongest. But already when you're looking at it now, like we said, with what Kenny said about Jogo, 2 times. First, when we first met Jogo season 1, like we thought that nigga he's okay. But then later on, they're like, nah, this is the strongest curse. And you're just like, what? But his hair was torn, all that? No. And then the whole plot, as far as like any moves that the villains are making, that's who you think about first. Satoru Gojo. Satoru Gojo is the reason that even these curses today here are growing so strong. It's because of him. As soon as he was born, the world was like, we got to even it out. This nigga's too strong over here. Let's start making curses stronger.
That's what I'm saying. Like even when he was a kid, niggas took a look. Niggas were not fucking with him. Like not at all. Like Toji is the only one, and that's because that nigga was finna get paid. Like,
and no, I actually have an answer for you because that was gonna be my last point. The reason why I feel like I'm not even holding Toji, like him losing to Toji, as that big of a deal, outside of the fact that he didn't awaken the infinity, he didn't really understand it, like reverse curse technique and everything. He didn't have that epiphany. As a kid, being so strong, nobody in the world of Jujutsu Kaisen has ever been able to see Toji. Like if that nigga is talking to you, you don't see him. What's the last thing Toji do? Turn around, look at him. And he's like, what the fuck? How the fuck this kid? From that point on until the point they fought, he been thinking about it, calculating. And then even when it was something action, I'm not jumping in like the people that paid the money is like, yo, you supposed to be OP, go fight that nigga. He's like, nah, I'm paying other niggas to tire this nigga out, and then when it's perfect, that's when I'll pop in. So that's why I gotta go Gojo. I got to go Gojo.
So wait.
I think he's a better representation.
Yeah, I
Say one
think
more time.
Jogo is stronger than what's the one? He got to be stronger than him.
Then Toji.
No, I told you, Jogo is stronger than the one Itadori was fighting.
Oh, Mahito.
Yeah, Jogo got to be
Yeah.
stronger than Mahito.
Yeah, he was. See, the thing is, like, I still wouldn't know how Jogo would have defeated Mahito though, because his whole soul situation, I don't know.
But at the same time, Itadori can't fight Jugo.
But Itadori's power dealt with souls, so that's why like his punches mattered. You feel me?
They say one Black Flash is beating Jogo.
That Itadori did?
Yeah, you think that
Hell
Black
no.
Flash beat Jogo?
No,
That's
this
what
is
I'm
no.
saying.
The reason I'm saying this is the thing. In Jujutsu Kaisen, matching happened. I think that Itadori by himself versus Jogo kills him easily. But it just so happened that like Itadori's punches, because he has Sukuna in it, it deals with the soul. And then Mahito, the only way you can hurt him is by hurting his soul type shit. Like he can reshape his soul. So that's why when Mechamaru did that big ass attack, it did nothing. Like he just reshaped his soul and then was just like looking similar. But the next one we got. Within their show, who's a better representation of uselessness? I was very tempted to put Sakura. I fought my temptation, and I have 3 people for you guys. So I got Tenten from Naruto. We got Armin from AOT. And then we got Happy. Happy from Fairy Tail.
How the fuck is Armin even in this discussion?
I just wanted to say that Armin does not deserve to be mentioned with these two, but also Happy doesn't deserve to be mentioned in here
bullshit.
either. The only person that fits this description in this category of uselessness is Tenten, and it's not her fault. It's for a lack of writing. It's for a lack of character development and a lack of writing. I don't know why Kenny's saying pause or timeout, because he's not going to be able to name any crucial time that Tenten stepped up and the actual Naruto and the first Naruto series, not in what's the name? He's not going to be able to name anytime she stepped up in Shippuden, not in either one of the series movies, not in Boruto. And again, it's not her fault. She's just underwritten, but she does nothing. She's a one-trick pony in a world where you have Sharingans, in a world where you have gods, in a world where you have tailed beasts. You telling me that this person right here, who is the best weapons ninja in the Leaf, I guess, you telling me she's not useless, but she don't do anything? Has she helped in a fight? I've seen her on the ground more times than I've seen her standing up in fillers.
Damn.
Unlike the other two, again, Armin shouldn't be on this list, but if Kenny's calling Happy useless, then that means he's just a hater, because there's been more and several times where Happy's been a key Happy's been a key character in Fairy Tail, whether that be everything travel, because nigga Natsu wouldn't be able to have any of his air range attacks without Happy. And there's been several key moments in Fairy Tail where Happy has come in the clutch for the team. Example, when he found Natsu during the Tartarus arc. He helped in the Edalus arc. Of course, he's an Xe. He's going to have to help. Like Happy's that nigga, and he's loyal. Take it away.
Take it away.
Is it my turn?
Yes, sir.
All right. So the thing about Tenten is, you sure she might not have many feats, but at least she can hand you a spare kunai or shuriken when you need one. She always got those on deck.
This nigga, so she says she's a
always
backpack.
got a spare kunai or shuriken if you ever need one. She got it. You ain't never, we all play Ninja Storm here. We know what happens when you run out your throwables. What happens when you run out your throwables, Carlil? You ain't got no more throwables.
At least you got hands.
You have to worry about that if Tenten's around. It's unlimited.
I have a question for you then, Kenny.
What's up?
What happens if you have a limited throwable, but you can't throw them on purpose? Like, what's going on?
I'm saying at least you got him. Happy is a liability. There was one. I'm literally watching the show. You got Carla. Carla throws hands. Tiger Lily throws hands. Why the fuck no Happy throw no hands?
That man can short dodge attacks though.
Fuck out of here, bro.
Yeah,
This
Technically, he threw hands when he was giant Happy.
That's what I'm saying. The crazy thing is,
bro.
I can't
Wait,
even.
It's my turn. What's gonna say?
Hold on.
It's my turn.
I can't even remember.
No, it's my turn.
I can't even remember a time where they actually had to like in the middle of the fight go and take care of Happy. I've seen when they had to do that with Lucy. Obviously, even seen that happen to Gray. I can't. There might have been a time with Happy, but I can't remember. That's how you know he not useless.
Nah, he usually is the one that will come through and save Natsu.
That's what I'm saying. That nigga come and save niggas.
Come and save Natsu.
Oh yeah, like in the middle of the fight, usually when Natsu is down, like he would come and pick him up.
Niggas die when Tenten's around. Niggas die and niggas get injured.
I'm not gonna lie. You know what proves that Tenten is useless? One day he showed the strongest fan in freaking Naruto, and she couldn't use it because her chakra was just that fucking low. And it's like if you don't play Storm, you don't even know how broken that fan is. Because when she awakens, like she can do whatchamacallit? What's that fireball? Fireball, jutsu, thunder, wind. Like she's just throwing them shits like left and right.
Isn't Tenten the one that Tamari completely embarrassed in the Chunin exams? Wasn't she laid out like this on the fan? Yeah, cuz.
Oh yeah.
Tamari was a dog. We ain't gonna act like Tamari make it to the semifinals now.
I understand Tamari was a dog, but you got embarrassed, cuz. You supposed to be the unlimited weapon master, and you got took down by a fan.
Bro, that's because it was a bad match. It was like rock paper scissors. Tamari was just
paper one every time. Paper one every time.
Wait, no. This man said it was a bad matchup. She has throwable objects. This lady has wind. What was you gonna do with the nigga that has a rock affinity, a water affinity, or a fire affinity? If you can't do with the wind,
she was just repelling her throwables with the wind.
Every other nigga has things to repel the shit with. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Tamari would have waxed every other Kunoichi in the Hidden Leaf Village.
Tenten literally has a scroll. Tenten literally has a scroll that will keep shooting weapons until her chakra runs out. She couldn't do nothing.
That's fine. Tamari would have beat every other Kunoichi there.
Every other what?
Kunoichi.
What is that?
Female ninja.
Every other Kunoichi in there. Let me think.
Tamari would have beat every last one of them.
I can't argue that.
I know you can't.
But however, this is my thing. Think about this, Kenny. I whooped your ass so easily that I even have time to stand, pose, close my fan, angle it for you to land on the goddamn fan.
She would have done that to everybody.
With your body.
She would have done that to every single other Kunoichi there.
No. I don't think she would have done that with every single one of them because them niggas can throw hands. Let's not act like Hinata wasn't throwing hands with Neji like that.
Bro, that's a close battle. Tamari's not letting you get that close.
And you even might lose to because you don't know like what if does that.
The one who ties with Sakura. But look, anything Kenny's arguing right now, because I don't know why we on this tangent. Anything he's arguing
Happy is the more useless.
Anything he's arguing right now isn't going to make.
At least Tenten is dangerous. At least Tenten has weapons. What is Happy gonna do? There was one
save
moment
you when you about to die and fly away.
There was one moment in the show I thought Happy was gonna let his nuts hang, and he ran away.
And doesn't Happy have transformation magic? Did he transform into Lucy?
Facts.
Huh? When did this happen?
He has transformation magic. He can.
I'm pretty sure that was definitely in the first series.
Since when?
He can do it. Him and Natsu, they was learning it from Lucy, and then they did it.
I don't remember.
They transformed to her.
That. What I'm saying is,
and she beat the fuck out of him.
Happy don't do shit.
See, that's just a lie in itself. That's a haterist statement. Like that's a lie. He knows it.
My vote's for Happy. My vote is for Happy.
Look, yeah, you voted for Happy. We both voted for Tenten, get Tenten out of here.
Get her out of here.
Get that man out of here. No woman. Next one I got is the best representation of wisdom. Wisdom. For these two, I got. It's gonna be interesting. I got Iruka Sensei from Naruto, and I got Askeladd from Vinland Saga.
Say that one more time.
Iruka Sensei from Naruto, and Askeladd from Vinland Saga.
Oh, come on, man.
Who you got?
Iruka Sensei.
You think so?
Wait. I thought you said, yeah. Not Iruka Sensei.
Iruka and Askeladd.
Iruka or Askeladd? Hold on. Am I tripping?
Just a reminder, Askeladd was the guy that killed Thorfinn's dad, Thors.
I know who it is. Hold on.
Okay.
I feel like I'm tripping now. Did you say Uncle Iroh or Iruka?
No. Iruka Sensei.
Okay. If you said Uncle Iroh, I was gonna say Uncle Iroh. So
Oh, yeah. I would
Askeladd,
have brought him in, but anime.
I'm gonna go Askeladd.
¿Por qué?
You literally turned a boy who wanted to kill you. You were so wise that you kept a boy around you that wanted to kill you so bad, and you made him like your protege, and now he don't even want to fight no more.
Carly, what you thinking about?
I think they're both wise, but just in different ways. You feel me? As there's pain in both shows. I'm sure Aruka has had to dealt with serious pain, but I can't remember a time when it was documented. So first is in Vinland Saga, where you can see that Askeladd, any of his wisdom, and a lot of it comes from, if you just think about his connection with Thorfinn, a lot of it comes from, challenging him, like in different ways, like in ways that Thorfinn might see that, oh, he's trying to kill me. He's trying to starve me to death. He's trying to do this. He's trying to do that. He doesn't care about my well-being. At a point, yes, but at the same time, it's kind of like Askeladd is putting him through things that he knows he'll come out of because one, he knows who his father is, and every time this kid looks at me, he wants to kill me, and he can see the determination in his eyes, and he can feel the horror around him. First is Iruka though, where again, like I said, I believe some of his teachings come in pain, but he lives in a world where ninjas fight, where ninjas have to survive. And he also helped Naruto think of the theme to where, like, especially when Naruto was young and he was going through issues like kind of fitting in, making friends, and things of that nature. He's kind of one of the first people to believe in Naruto and kind of make him form him into what he is, but also one of the first people to teach Naruto like not to give up on others. You feel me? And so I for this one I really can't pick, but it's really like you got to think it's one. I feel like Iruka Sensei's teachings are more toward shaping the next generation versus Askeladd's teaching. Like, yes, he's trying to help shape this young man, but overall, like, it's about the mentality of his wisdom is kill or be killed. So I feel like I'll give the slight edge to Iruka Sensei.
So we got what? We got one Askeladd, one Iruka, right? Okay. Well, this is Kenny. You good? It sounds like it's about to pop in there thinking too. This is my thing. This is my thing. Iruka Sensei, I think I can acknowledge, like just within the softness that he has within the Naruto verse. I feel like that's something that's rare. That's something that's precious, and that's something that he had to like develop within seconds because he went from thinking about killing Naruto to literally just putting himself in his shoes basically and just choosing to understand him. And afterwards, like he's Peach outside of behind Naruto's back, influenced Naruto clearly in major ways. However, the reason why I lean towards Askeladd, I feel like Askeladd was a hypocrite. You feel me? He lived a certain way, however, his ideals necessarily did not match. When I'm looking at his struggle with Thorfinn, I don't just see the choices that he's made. Because I feel like when you first paying attention, even with his fight with Taurus, as soon as he recognized who Taurus is, he said, lead us. Everybody, like, there was a serious air in the, like, there was a serious vibe in the air. Everybody was like, what? Why the hell would he say that? And then clearly recognizing that Taurus is not going to agree to do that, he turns into a joke. You feel me? But like people literally picked up on it. Like, what is he dead ass? Why would he say that now that we were about to kill him? However, there are things in the way that he was brought up, and I feel like the way that he was brought up is very similar to how Thorfinn was. And a part of that is especially in the way that he chose to actually keep him. And in the moment where he killed the king, to where Thorfinn was just like, nah, you can't rob me of this. And he's like, what are you going to do now? Are you going to live? If you remember, Askeladd had to go through that with his dad. He killed his dad, and that didn't bring him any satisfaction. As a result of that, he ended up having a life that forced him to forget about the dreams and the promises that he made himself as a young kid. Being even a part of a certain lineage that gives him the right to claim, like like kingdom, like I don't know, like being a king to like he has a right to that title. You feel me? So when he kills that king, then proclaims himself, okay, I made this act, and this act, that's just me claiming back the dreams that I had let go of because of my grudge, because of this one mistake that I felt like should have been my life goal. However, that mistake robbed me of the essence of living, and I can't let this boy walk that path. You feel me? Like at some point within his fight with Thorfinn, he can literally see that Thorfinn is strong. However,
Facts.
how do I keep this boy grounded? How do I break him down and help him rebuild himself? So like he was speaking at Thorfinn's weaknesses. I like, oh, you remember how your dad died? So that Thorfinn can get mad and lose the fights. Now you still in my ranks. And then when it came down like to me needing to make a choice in a split second, I had to find a way to influence you for you to regain your life rather than just going through the path of like not having a goal. And even in the Valhalla to them, which is like just another realm, he's still able to help you walk down that path. So that's why I'm going with Askeladd.
Facts.
Feel like there's just like a deeper understanding, but like the way that he was living was just not agreeing with that.
Nah, I definitely understand.
Even that boy Askeladd. It would have been interesting if it was Uncle Iroh, though. I'm not gonna lie, because I wanted to do it, but then I'm like, I'm trying
Uncle
my
Iroh
best to stick.
clears.
Huh?
So Uncle Iroh clears.
I'm about to say,
So Uncle Iroh.
how can you beat the wisdom of a man who's lived in the regular world and the spirit world? Like at this at this point, bro, like they went to that nigga more than the past avatars.
Okay,
Uncle
now we
Iroh
have.
should have been an Avatar.
I ain't gonna lie to you, Kenny. I hope somebody writes that story one day.
Rice what?
Uncle
Listen,
Iroh was the Avatar.
Come on, bro.
they didn't sit these niggas, bro. What are we
What
doing?
happened?
The Lakers and Thunder game is on.
Yeah, but what score?
I'm waiting for it. I just turned it on. They showing the highlights.
Okay, all right. Let me just get started with the next one. Whenever you know the score, please update me on that because I actually want to know.
I got you.
So the next category got within their show, which this one is a two-parter. So we got two matchups for this one. Within their show, who's a better representation of a genius? You feel me? Genius, big brain. For the first matchup, we got Orochimaru or Mayuri.
Mayuri.
Orochimaru or Mayuri.
Mayuri.
Carlos says easy for him. Wow.
Mayuri, bro. I mean, I will explain if Kenny has it picks Orochimaru, but Mayuri. I feel like I don't if this is a like a mini tournament, I promise you my answer's not changing.
He said something like that.
I love that nigga, bro. I love Mayuri.
It probably is Mayuri. Like he runs the whole Soul Society science department. It's probably Mayuri.
I mean, I think the clear answer is that the thing that Orochimaru have been pursuing forever, Mayuri was just like, here, nigga.
Yeah.
I'm gonna force this nigga to kill me 700 times. I'm still standing.
Yeah, Mayuri, yeah. That man's
Okay.
brain is different.
Mayuri no diff. Hopefully the next one is more of a matchup. You got Shikamaru or Light Yagami.
Shikamaru.
Shikamaru.
Shikamaru. It's
What's
not,
the
I don't think
argument?
I don't even think it's close.
What's the argument?
Shikamaru would have been found out who Kiro was.
Wait, Light Yagami is killer. He's Sakura.
That's what I'm saying. Shikamaru would have been figured it out.
Oh, like if they went head to head. True.
Yeah. Yeah.
Obviously, I'm not even gonna lie. I had Shikamaru too. The only reason I wanted to do this because I wanted to shit on Light Yagami. Light Yagami has been pissing me off. That man is not smart. How the fuck you have a book that's
How has he been
untraceable?
pissing you off when he's dead?
He has a book that's untraceable, but everybody got him like on every top 10 genius. He's on there for what?
I
It's
mean, he's
like
still smart, but
He is
he's not.
not.
if I would say this, I'll say this. Light Yagami would have been not even a better character because I have no issue with his character and I don't have any issue with Death Note. Let me make that clear. But I feel like maybe Death Note maybe would have had a season 2 if Light Yagami didn't have an ego. If that nigga's Light Yagami is the only person's on this list. Maybe Shikamaru, maybe other than Shikamaru in early Naruto. But Light Yagami is the only person on this list whose ego got in the way of his genius. If he didn't think of him, if he think of himself as a god and still just moved on his consistent intentions when he started off, I feel like he would have been fine. He would have been able to think clearly. He would have been able to plan more accurately. Like like I said, if you're going to be a genius, you cannot have as big as an ego that, and you
You're
can
not a genius.
niggas can argue Mayuri has an ego, but that nigga can back it up. Like you just got the Death Note last week, and you already think you a god. You feel me? So
Is
that's
Light
just
Yagami, is he really even a genius or is he just a really good liar?
He's not even a good liar though. Because this is my thing, Kenny. I don't know a lot of smart people. I'm giving all of my friends a Death Note. None of them getting caught. None of them getting caught unless
I'll,
I
t-
come out
That's
and I'm
what I'm
like, yeah,
saying.
nigga,
Because
Death Note that can kill him.
I'll take 2,
I'm saying
please.
that's what we're saying. He got caught. Like the show, L caught him a long time ago. L had been saying it was him from the jump, pretty much.
Bad. It's a lot of dumb niggas
That's what
over
I'm
there.
saying. Or maybe I feel like he's not. He's smart, but he's also just a really good liar. Because L had caught him way before Light killed L. He damn near caught it all rip.
A dumbass nigga pretending to be a genius. Get him out of here. Screen rant, I'm coming for you. Get him off your top 10. Next category we got is very similar to genius. This is talent. And this one I think is pretty close. We got Minato from Naruto, but we also got Edward Elric from Full Metal Alchemist.
But I'm not gonna lie. When you sent us these notes, I didn't understand the comparison here of Edward Elric and
Talent, like Prodigy, who's the better representation of it.
I don't know. I
Think
just
that
don't
would
If
feel
we
like
if we if we talk about representation, I feel like that would just have to be Minato because
yeah.
when he was introduced as a genius. He was introduced as the perfect ninja. He was introduced as the perfect student. He was introduced as the perfect everything. Like, the yellow flash. Like, and Minato is a fan favorite, even though he's only been in 4 episodes. Like Minato, like you said, we're talking about representation. There's never been a point in while I was watching Full Metal Alchemist from beginning to end where I'm like, oh yeah, this Edward's a prodigy.
Not
Like I
once.
never, I saw him as the typical protagonist going through his struggles, trying to achieve his goal, but also trying to figure out how he can overcome these certain obstacles versus where it felt like I never had to watch Minato do that. And the one obstacle we did have to watch him come come to terms with. He already had a plan. Like yeah, the Reaper Death Seal. This is what it's going to come to. Like, and I'm cool with it. I know where I'm going to seal the Nine Tails. Like, I'm fine. Like, I'm not fine. No, I'm about to die. And this could like, but it felt like everything was already, to where I never, and like for me personally, I just never seen, I never saw Edward Elric as this is the prodigy.
I think so. I was just thinking right now. I think the big thing with Edward is that he could do alchemy without he was doing it without a transmutation circle. Is that what it was? That's what his
Yeah.
hype was.
hmm
'Cause he could just do this and touch something. Um, that's cool. It's just that I feel like, to me at least, when I was watching Full Metal Alchemist, I was like, damn, the main character is so much weaker than everybody around him. Like, just everybody else around him just seems so much stronger. Like the homunculi were all stronger than him. Uh, shit, Scar damn near was stronger than him. Uh, so that's why to me it just was him. The show was a little underwhelming. I watched it more. I'm like, when is Fear Bradley coming back? I'm like, I'm trying to see Fear Bradley, and then I guess Maze Hughes, once we finally got to see him do his shit, cold.
hmm
Uh, when I was watching Edward, it was just like I can't even remember what his attacks looked like. I just remember the final fight was his best fight to me when he was fighting Father. He was just throwing hands, just throwing the hand. That's the only fight I remember from him in that show for real. Whereas, like Carlil said, we got 4 episodes of Minato, and I know all. I pretty much know everything that happened.
hmm
So that's how I'm gonna go with Minato.
So, first of all, let me say I totally respect every point that was made about Minato. I think I have those same points that he was just very like well highlighted, and obviously he was just that nigga. He was hella cold. But I think that I'm going with Edward, and I feel like the reason for that, Kenny kind of said it. The show is a lot. The show is just not Naruto. You feel me? Full Metal Alchemist is not as captivating. It's not all of that. It doesn't highlight a lot of things. However, when you're paying attention for as far as like who Edward is, first of all, he's bringing up him and Alphonse. There are people that are sheltered away from alchemy and whatnot. Still went out of their ways to commit the biggest taboo, and then that cost Alphonse's life. But Edward was able to think rationally, like I still have to sacrifice, and I can figure out a way to bring him, not his body, but bring him and trap him into this metal thing. However, I feel like from that point on, if you're paying attention to, just like Kenny said, within their verse, they're not the strongest. There you have these other people. You have Scar, who, if you're paying attention in the world of alchemy, Scar is just like his power is just bonkers because his brother discovered this way to reverse alchemy. So that's something that's you're supposed to be big dog popping up out of nowhere, and then you got the homunculus. They're clearly strongest because their power source is literally a philosopher's stone. You feel me? They got immortality. They got all these crazy powers. However, I feel like every single one of his fights, he just kept on, and that's just kind of what puts him. I feel like there. He's just like he kept on thinking of ways outside of the box when it came to alchemy, and that's why he was good at it. Because a lot of people didn't even recognize him as Full Metal. They thought that was Alphonse, but it's just the shit that he would do that would have you randomly go like, "Oh shit, that is Full Metal." And one of those things is when he's fighting Greed, and Greed has a full, body armor. You can't penetrate it. He has haki basically. You can't penetrate it regardless of how much damage you are. For them to for him to let the fight play out in a way that Greed almost felt comfort, and that he's able to have moments where he just like after one fight with Scar, he's able to think about like how do I reverse alchemy? Because like there was moments where he was like attacking Scar, and Scar is breaking down his alchemy, and just like nobody else was picking up like what is this nigga's power? But then he's like, oh shit. After one conversation, I figure it out, and then he starts trying to apply. And that's the thing about him, like everything that he was doing there, he would try to apply. So he applied that thing, was able to mask Scar, and then later on, when you go to fight somebody like Greed, somebody who has a whole body armor, you can't really keep up. But as soon as you're able to put two and two together, I'm creating openings. This nigga's bleeding, and he has never bled in his life. You don't understand what's causing that. I feel like it's just in his matchups and just the things that he has to deal with. Like he literally defeated a king that had a philosopher's stone. Like that nigga from the beginning was not supposed to be able to be beaten. But I feel like his mind is always putting him ahead. And even in the resolving of how, okay, my goal has always been to bring Alphonse back, to bring my body part back. How do I resolve that? The truth has a literal riddle that throughout all of its existence, nobody has been able to solve. He did. Like, oh, what's the answer? The truth is sitting at you smiling because ain't no way you about to get this nigga. And he said, no, I know. You can have my door. So I feel like it's just layers to just the mind and the talent and just the readiness, like as far as like what his journey is. That's why I
And
put him. I just feel like, and two, if you're looking at their ceiling, in terms of ceiling, like when it comes to talent, I feel like he's at the top. However, Minato, yes, he's talented, but like within their world, I feel like now, like, them other niggas is shooting. He's just still up there, but I just feel like in terms of their show.
yeah, no, and the only thing I would disagree with you is the ceiling, because the only reason you can argue that is because Minato died early. If he
Oh
didn't
yeah, oh
die,
100%.
if he
Oh,
didn't die
if
early,
Minato is alive, we're
the,
not having the argument, bro. What?
no, for sure. And I think it's like I don't disagree with anything that you said, but where I would say I feel like the scale still tip in Minato's favor is because the type of prodigy that you were talking about all had to do with him overcoming adversity using his mind. Now, I understand him being able to think about things, to save themselves in situations, ultimately figure out what he needed to do. It definitely does make him a prodigy. When it comes to using his head, using his mind to figure these things out. But again, a lot of the situations you talked about was him overcoming adversity, to where versus when I look at a prodigy, I'm looking at somebody who I feel like doesn't need to overcome as much adversity as somebody that needs to work harder than anybody else. When I think about a prodigy, I think about, not he does work hard, but he also has that talent to back it up, which makes him almost unreachable. Example, if we take it to the Naruto verse, like everybody in their younger days, everybody saw Sasuke as the prodigy, and Naruto was good, but he definitely needed to put in work to get to the level that he is to now. But Sasuke had that. Not only did Sasuke work hard, but he also had natural talent that came with him as well. And so that's where I feel like Minato stands out, because Minato worked hard, became Hokage, but he also had the natural talent to back it up. His name, his name and his nickname was hidden amongst the world. If you knew who the Yellow Flash was, you knew who Minato Namikaze was. Like, you don't get that reputation just like you get that if you just work hard and you're not a prodigy, you get that reputation eventually. But he had that reputation for a long time. And remember, Minato didn't live a long life, like at all. You
But
feel me?
hey, technically, he lived longer than Ed. And Ed also had the title. Everybody knew who he is, but he's like, this short nigga, that's him?
Nah, I understand. I understand the Full Metal. Yep. Yeah.
Full Metal
But no,
Alchemy.
yeah, hey, y'all won because it's 2-1. Both of y'all went with Minato. So Minato is the face. You feel me? I got 3 of them left. The last 2 I'm very excited for. But the
Wait,
next
can I ask a question?
what's up?
Why was everybody so hyped about Ed being able to do alchemy without a transmutation circle when all of them was like Mason? He was doing shit. He didn't need no circle.
Yes, he had the circle on his glove.
Oh, never mind.
But like for example, the thing is that Ed is able to transmute just alchemy in general. If you pay attention, he was doing different things. But with May Hughes, it's specifically flame, and then he has that. So like, even though he has this circle here all the time, if it rains, already he can't do shit. So that's why like this nigga can transmute regardless. He was just all he was doing.
I really can't remember how he fought, like how Ed was fighting. Did he like have a sword or something? A
Nah,
knife or
like he would
something?
like for example like just do that, put it on the on the ground, and like how like earthbend, not even the earthbenders, because the way this shit would be like reshaped, so I could like throw a fucking piece of rock that comes out, but the way it comes out, it doesn't come out like like how in Avatar they might pick up a rock and throw it at you.
Mm.
It's just like he's just creating this funnel of the earth that's just going towards you. So even if you block it, there's still almost like a beam of earth that just keeps coming. So that's how he was doing, as long as he was maintaining a certain posture or a certain flow.
Okay.
But he's able to do it with like other things like metal, stuff like that. And later on, he's able to break it down. Like he can literally be a wall here. Okay, I use alchemy, and now the wall is going.
Okay.
Yeah.
might need to rewatch it.
It is, it is fire. But third to last, wasted potential. You feel me? Like I said, I didn't want to bring Sakura into it. I fought hard. I failed. Sakura is in wasted potential. We got Sakura and we got the War Hammer Titan.
Oh, come on, bro.
It was the Warhammer Titan, dog. And you talking about somebody that got used for one episode, and even with uh even so, you telling me this a Warhammer Titan that I have unstoppable offense, I have unstoppable defense, and I can hide myself in the ground, and I got defeated episode 1 in 10 minutes? Yeah, no.
That shit pissed me off.
You like, and then also you got to think of the fact, even after Eren got the Warhammer Titan, can you count how many times he used it?
One.
And that was there was still some time left. Like we got through some.
No,
episodes.
he literally just spawned some spikes and we good.
That's
Don't
what I'm
need
saying. Like it's Warhammer has so much. I gotta stop because I'm gonna keep going. Warhammer, Warhammer Titan.
Yeah, it's easily the Warhammer Titan, like not even close. And the fact that Eren only used it one time is the dumbest shit. Because you got to think about it. You don't have to. I feel like the biggest disability with the Warhammer Titan was that being able to hide yourself so that you're not in the nape is an advantage and a disadvantage. It's an advantage because you can, your nape can get smacked and you'll be good. But at the same time, your body's useless, like it's defenseless because your Titan is off somewhere else. If you don't know what's going on with your body, anything can happen. Eren had literally everything he needed. He could crystallize his nape. All he had to do was spam that.
What did he even need the rumbling for?
We didn't even need the rumbling. You didn't need that last. After he got the Warhammer Titan, he fought Reiner again, didn't he?
Oh yeah, he did. Yeah,
he should have. That should have, bro.
He can't use it.
There's no way. All you have to do is grab Reiner one time and just shoot a spike out your hand, and yeah, the Warhammer Titan. Easily.
And then you got long range. Like you remember when that girl was literally about to use the power, that's why I'm pissed because like Carlos said, you spawn within 10 seconds, you're out. She was displaying. I feel like the way she was using it, she was displaying the possibilities, just not launching it. Oh, let me make a crossbow. I'm not really using it. Let me spawn some tiny mini spikes, even though later on Eren was able to spawn one that literally was taller than Reiner. Why didn't you do that in the battle when it mattered, when you needed it? She made them shit 2 feet tall.
Look, unrelated, and Reiner still got the coldest Titan design.
It's gold.
Brock Lesnar.
Brock Lesnar, literally. Inspiration.
Yeah. But I still got to throw some shade towards Sakura because she also is quite a wasted potential. And this is not even off of no hate.
Not doing this. Not doing this.
Can we put Reiner?
Not off of hate.
Wait.
I just got to say it because 2 things. Which I feel like this we can attribute to Kishimoto has been pretty open about not really having a storyline when he was coming up with Naruto. So some stuff disappeared and some stuff happened randomly. But she was supposed to be to have a strong affinity with Genjutsu. And even I remember when she was younger, she was able to have this Susanoo form in her head to where, that's how she dealt with Ino. So I feel like they just kind of let that go. You feel me? And later on down the series, she's just shown to be like too weak to Genjutsu. That's 1. 2, obviously, 1,000 Heroes Jutsu, useless personality. Show us something with it. Like, you're supposed to be a brawler out here. Turn that shit on. You're not going down. Fight to the death. Nigga, throw some hands. Nah, I'm a medical jutsu. Fuck out of here.
I had a question. Why didn't we have Reiner in the plot armor Olympics or the plot armor bracket?
Reiner.
That man was supposed to have been lost. You know how many times this man escaped? You know how many times Reiner got his ass beat? And somehow miraculously got away. Hella times.
What are you thinking about?
The man's plot armor's crazy.
Because I'm trying to think. Like I feel like most of his fights. What fight am I thinking of? The fight I really remember him being bloodied like that was the one versus Eren, and he managed to disappear.
Anytime he fought Eren, he was supposed to lose every single time. especially after he got the Warhammer Titan.
But like we said, Aaron just underutilized that thing. And then after that, he was also jumping you. You feel me?
He was supposed to the nigga Aaron when he was in Marley. When he bit his, they were both sitting in that damn house, and he bit his fucking thumb. Or Reiner sitting right there, untighten formed. How the fuck did he not die?
I mean, technically, I mean, he's a Titan, so at that point, he was not. He would. This is the thing. He shouldn't have died. He should have transformed. I'll say that. Because if you get hurt, that shit happens at the same time. He should have transformed. But however, Falco was there. Falco was allowed to. Maybe they ran. I don't know.
Plot armor.
It doesn't make sense. I know it doesn't make sense. I can admit that he's right there. The explosion killed the niggas upstairs. Should have killed the niggas down here.
The nigga that's found free from me should have died.
Weak. Makes sense. I can't argue it. Last two, these are gonna get tougher as we go. The first one I got is the Manipulator. We have the biggest one of them, Aizen, but I remember a video we did where somebody brought up a guy that I feel like is very, very under-recognized when it comes to being a manipulator, and I feel like I had to throw him in here. So Black Zetsu. Black Zetsu and Aizen. They both been plotting for centuries. I'm sorry, Carter.
Can we not do this, bro?
Give your answer, nigga.
Aizen, dog. Aizen. This man was manipulating the Soul Society in real time. He manipulated the main character and made him what he is today. Do we not remember? I need us to really think about this. Like, yes, I understand Black Zetsu been planning for over thousands of years. He tricked Toby, he tricked Madara, he was really for Kaguya, but nobody likes that.
Nobody likes that. But I feel like this is an argument I can make for Black Zetsu.
I understand.
He doesn't have the attributes that Aizen has. Aizen literally has the most broken visual jutsu in Bleach. And then Black Zetsu is doing these things to these niggas that are supposed to be OP. He didn't just trick anybody. He tricked Madara. He tricked Obito. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
He didn't. And he tricked Hindra. You know what I'm saying?
I understand what you're saying. You feel me? I understand that. But if niggas wasn't dumb, they could have just took care of that.
Dumb, bro.
Like obviously they were.
No, they weren't.
If niggas wasn't good at it. If niggas wasn't, you're talking about like he had to manipulate situations. You feel me? I understand that range from years. Aizen was so manipulative. He had niggas questioning their own memories. I need niggas to understand that. Like that's how calculated this nigga is. This is the coldest nigga ever. After when he was in planning, he said, and I quote, "All beings should be ruled by me." You're right. Who am I to think I should have free will? You're absolutely right, Aizen.
Nah, wait. This
man, after he got sealed, bro, he looked at these niggas and said, "I wanted to be sealed anyway." Who says that? Who says that? And then even when he's back in 1,000-Year Blood War, in his chair, still, I'm going Aizen, bro. But I understand y'all might want to do Black Zetsu. I'm not mad. I'm gonna say now, I have no counter argument. That's all I gotta say.
Kenny, can't you see?
I'm not gonna lie, the most manipulative person in all of anime is Naruto Uzumaki.
Wait, what?
Talk no jutsu is the most manipulative thing in
all. Get the fuck out of here, please.
Get the fuck out of here.
I should have known he was gonna come out some weird ass thing. Naruto.
This is a hard question, Bamba. This man who has a sword, who has unlimited genjutsu, versus somebody who tricked the whole shinobi world.
I just want to say, y'all have not even seen how broken his genjutsu is. Can you believe that? That today in 1,000-year blood war, you have not seen how broken his genjutsu is.
I'm saying, is that more OD than Yamamoto's Bankai?
Yes,
Whose Bankai is
yes,
more OD?
without a doubt, Aizen.
I'm gonna go Aizen.
And he doesn't have a Bankai yet.
I'm gonna just go Aizen because if you drop him down in Naruto, he's a god.
Oh yeah, but that's why we got it within their shows. You feel me? Because yeah, if we're doing scaling, that shit is broken.
I
But
mean,
I'm
he's a
going with
god in
Aizen,
his
and
own
I'm not going with
show.
huh?
He's a god in his own show. Like, what other character can pretty much solo all the other captains by just being there? That's OD. He said, "Everybody look."
Y'all think y'all jumping me? Nah, I'm downstairs looking up at y'all niggas. I'm gonna go Aizen. I'm gonna go Aizen just because of what's to come. You know what I mean? Only because of what's to come. For our last part of this, what we have usually, we all have our anime MCs and we often associate them with being heroes, but most of the time they are not. However, I feel like for these two, it's a debate who's the better hero. You got Naruto and you got Luffy.
Okay,
Who's
let's.
between the two?
You're
Who's the
pissing
better
me.
hero?
You're
Hero.
pissing me. You're
Hero.
pissing me off. You're pissing me off. You're pissing me off. You're pissing me off. You're talking about you're comparing a fucking pirate to a nigga that saved the world over and over and over again.
Okay.
Like who he
Wait, save
doesn't.
the world over and over and over again.
Yes.
Care to explain?
I
When
think he's
ha-
talking about like when the
when did
Otsutsuki or like
when did he not save the world, Kenny? We've all
I'm talking
watched
about,
that.
I'm talking about over and over and over. This is Abusa wasn't a world threat.
Pain was a world threat.
Was he? Or was he
Yes.
just a
but
threat
he
to
saved
the
Pain
Leaf
from the
Village?
village. We didn't know
He
if
was
he
only
was
the
gonna be a
Leaf
war
Village.
threat.
You didn't know if he was going to be a world. You're saying you didn't know he was going to be a world threat because Naruto stopped him in the Leaf Village.
He
If
only
he
had
wouldn't,
beef with the
if
Leaf
he
Village.
wouldn't, if he wouldn't have stopped him in the Leaf Village, he would have been a world threat.
I don't know that yet.
Naruto has also stopped gods. Naruto had also stopped Kaguya. Like, what
But
are
that's
we
for
talking
example.
about?
Okay, this is why.
I'll
That's,
give
that's
you
why
that.
I'm
I'll give
saying
you
I
that.
agree with you
Again,
to
the
a
same.
certain
If
extent.
it's more than once, it's over and over again. It
But
doesn't.
no, I'm not.
If you don't include Pain or not, the only reason you're saying that Pain isn't a world threat is because he got defeated in the Leaf Village. That's literally it. Of course, we're not going to know if he's a world threat or not because he got
That's not
stopped in the
true.
Leaf Village.
That's not
Do
true.
you wait? Are you arguing with me or are you? Because
Hold
I'm
on.
arguing.
If it's not true, tell me why, Kenny.
Pain literally only had beef with the Leaf Village because they killed
No,
his
this
friend
world
in
shall
the
know
Great
pain is the moniker, not the Leaf Village shall know pain.
He was mad at the Leaf for killing
The
his
Leaf Village shall
comrade.
know pain is not the moniker. It's the world shall know pain. It's the world, Kenny. The world, Kenny. The world, Kenny. He didn't say the Leaf Village shall know pain. He didn't only have beef with the Leaf Village because he just fought in the Leaf Village and got beat by Naruto in the Leaf Village.
Can
The
I
world
shed some
is the
light
world
as
shall know
to why?
pain.
Can I
If
shed
it
some light as to why I don't think Pain is a war level threat?
thank you. If it has anything to do with because he got defeated in the Leaf Village, I'm leaving.
No, it doesn't have to do with that. I feel like I'm only saying this because of his speech, like when he was telling Naruto, and he's saying that I feel like he wasn't saying this world because in their speech they always say the Shinobi world, and he's saying that like when Naruto was mad, he quite literally told him like, "What about me? What about my family? What about the pain that I've suffered? Like my reality now is the consequences that this village and the other village decided like to have a battle on their turf, like ignoring their consequences. So you feel like it was unfair. So there was a direct correlation to Konoha, and there was a direct correlation to I can't remember what the other village was, but like he made that. So that's why I'm saying like when he's saying this world shall know pain, there is no proof that because for example, like it's the other things within the other villains, there are people that had a goal of like either conquering the world or being Pirate King themselves. However, they were defeating. We're in the same area. I can just go and be like, he's a world level threat because that's not what he aimed for. When Pain attacked Konoha, even though he blitzed through it, like there was a reason why that attack ain't happened right then and there because he understood that his power level was nowhere. That's why I'm like saying, I like within Naruto, there's at least like I can think of 5 people that are world level threat. However, I just don't think that Pain is one of them.
The thing is, I understand what you're saying, but I'm not going to look at I'm not going to look at I'm not going to look at One Piece and be like, pirates were trying to take over the world, but that doesn't mean they're world threat. I mean, just like how Kenny his first question to me was, I don't think Zabuza was a world threat, which was a stupid question because nobody, of course, Zabuza wasn't a world threat. Nobody, when I'm talking about world threats, nobody's mentioning Zabuza. So I think we can figure out who the world threats are. So I'm not going to be like, oh yeah, the female pirate that Luffy beat in the first 15 episodes is a world threat. I'm not going to say that. That's just stupid. But I'm saying like to think like I understand any type of evil is going to always start where it's is always going to evolve from where it starts from, which most likely is going to be what you held to you the most, your home, anything like that. But again, Shinobi World doesn't just stop at the Leaf Village or the Sand Village or anything like that. There's ninjas all around the world. You feel me? Like this world shall know pain. He's not. His plan was to start with the Leaf Village because yes, that's where he had the most beef. But to believe that he was going to just be like, Leaf Village gone, Naruto dead. Yeah, we're mission accomplished. That's asinine.
No, yeah, it is. But like for example, I remember when we had like a similar argument, and I was saying that like the reason why I feel like Nagato to begin with was not even going for the whole world is just like his lifespan. For him to display the power that he needed to conquer, I don't think that he can do the same power level that he literally did for Konoha. Because like literally defeat when he brings him back to life, his life is gone. But like for example, when I'm saying power level, when I'm saying like world threat, it's not necessarily just like where it started, but more so their power level too. Like regardless of what you're telling me, do I feel like you're able to back it up? Not really. Like when you're telling me Kaguya, Momoshiki, or even Madara, because the Eternal Tsukuyomi, I can genuinely acknowledge like the whole world was under the Eternal Tsukuyomi. However, like now it's still to this day, it's still conversation whether the whole Naruto world is literally like a shinobi world. Like
But
NC Hammer recently did it to where like he showed, oh, like these are the basically like the military forces of some of these areas. So that's why like the Hokage doesn't have that much influence and stuff like that. But he literally showed like, oh, there's this piece here, there's this piece here. But like as far as like the rest of the map, we still to this day like don't have it in the whatchamacallit, like in the guidebook or whatnot from Naruto.
and I understand you just brought up the Eternal Tsukuyomi, but you got to understand when Madara first got introduced, we know he had plans, but we didn't know that was the specific plan.
Mm-hmm.
First off, we did not know that he was until later on in the war. And again, there's different situations. Like this is a battle. This is a whole war. Of course, it's going to be a drawn out. Of course, there's going to be things later down the line because the story allows it to. The story for Pain was for him to be defeated within the Leaf Village. So
wait, I'm confused. Because what do you mean by what why are we saying Madara? I'm confused.
Because you brought up you believe Madara would be able to destroy the world because of the Eternal Tsukuyomi. That's why.
But just because of the power that he has,
that's what I'm saying. But again, like caliber. If we were shown that because that was allowed to be drawn out, and we were eventually allowed to learn that was what his plan was for the world. You feel me? Like his plan was we know his plan was to change the world in some aspect, but we didn't know it was going to be through the internal Tsukuyomi until he said so. Pain was going to show the world pain, and we knew that. The story didn't allow it to get past the battle in the Leaf Village because it wasn't a war, it's a battle.
But the reason I'm saying it's different is because Madara, from when he was presented, even though he has not done one of those things, you know that he's up here in terms of power level. However, Pain, even within the Akatsuki conversation, is he the strongest or is he like, third strongest or whatnot? there are people like with existing like people that even the conversation with my guy. Most people say, "Oh, my guy is in the Leaf. Pain is defeated." You know what I'm saying? Like the reason why people are even able to have that as an argument is because like the power level. There is a scaling that pain. I feel like pain to Madara, that's huge, and I feel like Madara was one of the first people that represented that planetary, like that world threat. Like Madara is the first that I'm trying to think. Either Madara or Jubito, I would say. Those were some of the first that you're like, oh, these niggas can confirm without a doubt take over the planet.
Nah, for I understand where you're coming from. I'm gonna just have to disagree. When I thought the world destroyed, my first thought in the whole series was pain. When I'm watching the series for the first time, going through it, I'm thinking the only person at the point he's introduced, the only person stronger than pain in the Akatsuki is Itachi Uchiha. That's what's going through my head until the story starts developing. I'm just letting that's just me. I'm looking at it from not from what I know, but from what I was experiencing as I was going through both of them. But
Shout out to KVZ Preem in the chat who says gathering the tail beast pain had potential, but no, he wasn't a threat to the entire world.
again, we're going through what we know now. Um, but even though what I know now, I still believe if you would have let him get past Naruto, he's going to be able to destroy the world.
But
Uh,
so do you also feel like Naruto is a bigger? That's why you feel like he's a bigger aspect because of the villains that he has.
yeah, no. As far as hero, Naruto is known as a hero. He was known as a hero as soon as he defeated what his peers thought could have been a world level threat. Let me start there. He was first regarded as a hero amongst everyone as soon as Pain was defeated. And
Mhm.
then we go through Madara, and then we go through Kaguya, and then the little in betweens there. You feel me? Like he's a hero. He's known as a hero versus Luffy. Like, yes, he has liberated some islands, but again, to right now until Emu, I haven't seen anybody that he's fought with the exception of Kaido and Big Mom. If they not even Kaido, because I didn't believe Kaido had that power. I knew he was the. They said he was the strongest on the earth, but again, I feel like for him to destroy the world or be a world level threat, it would have taken that partnership with Big Mom that he had. And even Luffy doesn't look at himself as a hero. That man's a pirate. Like he's a pirate. Like I understand he saved people and things of that nature, but he's there's this theme in One Piece amongst you. It's like you're always going to have your antagonist and your protagonist. You're going to see people that you look highly upon, and you're going to see people that you don't look as highly upon based on their ideals and based on who you're watching. But to me, there's no pirate in One Piece that regards themselves as a hero. No matter, of course, you're going to help the people that you care about. Of course, you even see it with the evil pirates. Like Blackbeard grabbed Boa Hancock by her throat and said, "Turn my crew back." You feel me? Like he even cares about his crew, whether it be for selfish reason or not. You're all
Yeah.
and one thing One Piece has shown me, whether I'm seen as good, whether I'm seen as evil, I'm still gonna ride with those people next to me. You feel me? Like and I've seen small portions of selfishness within the characters of One Piece when it comes to regarding their crews. But again, just because you save people and you're on the quote unquote good side, I don't think that makes you a hero.
That's fair. I personally have my pick, but I want to hear Kenny's thoughts first.
This is a tough one. This is a real tough one, honestly.
Mhm.
The reason I say it's a tough one because Luffy's heroism would be equivalent to if, let's say, Luffy only like rescued the East Blue, like he only was protecting the East Blue.
Oh, you talking about
Whereas,
Naruto's heroism?
yes, Naruto's heroism is if Luffy just stayed in the East Blue and protected the
Mhm.
East Blue for real. Whereas Luffy is literally traveling the world. Granted, it might not be his intention, but on his goal is to be a pirate king. But on that journey to be a pirate king, he's meeting people who are legitimately begging for his help, and he's never like, no, that's not going to become pirate king. He's like, I don't like dictators, and you fed me, and y'all good people. I'm about to go beat that nigga ass. And to me, that's what makes a hero. Well, it's like it's like this. It's like Superman saves the world, Batman protects Gotham. Yes, while he's protecting Gotham, there might be a world planetary level threat, but it's ultimately for the sake of Gotham. Whereas Naruto, he might be presented with a world level threat, but it's ultimately to save the Hidden Leaf. Whereas Luffy is literally traveling to places that have nothing to do with the East Blue or his road to become the Pirate King and reshaping the government that's there. He's uh taking down dictators and he's really helping people. So I would say he's unintentionally the better hero.
Mm-hmm. Carlo, you struggling with that? You want to say something?
I don't agree with anything that he said in that last sentence, dog. I'm not gonna lie to you. Cause saying like he's literally needing to go to these places. How do you think he's been able to get information on where he's supposed to go next and things of that nature? So like he's needing to go to these places. Unfortunately, he sees things happening that he doesn't agree with. You feel me?
He
But
didn't
like
necessarily need to go to those places.
I'm saying that, and the only thing, like yes, what he's doing is for the betterment of the island that he's at the time. You feel me? But that what I'm trying to say is, of course, it's in Luffy's written character that if he sees something that he doesn't agree with, he's going to step in and he's going to do something about it. But ultimately, everything that's done is to benefit him and his crew on a journey. Like Kenny said, things that Naruto's done is benefiting a whole village. And then there's times where it's benefiting the whole world. Like we haven't even got to that point. Like we're going to get to that point eventually in One Piece where Luffy either saves or destroys the world, but we don't even know if he's going to do either one yet. So I think he has heroic. I feel like Luffy has heroic situations and times where he looks like a hero, but Naruto is known as the hero. He is known as a hero.
So I ain't gonna lie, I like this one because this is my thing. I think that we can both acknowledge that both of them are heroes. I think that they're very close heroes, even I would say. I think that the difference for the two are aspirations. You feel me? What Carla is saying about Luffy being a pirate, that's true. When ever since he's young, he's talking about wanting to be the pirate king or whatnot. Naruto as a kid, ever since he was a kid, he wanted to earn people's respect. I want to be the Hokage, but specifically, he wanted the people's respect. So you feel me? Like he wanted to earn that. Now, however, I feel like where they differ is their actions today. Like Luffy, even though he's a pirate and we've seen like the whole array of pirate, like if everybody shines one color, this nigga has a whole rainbow around him. Because literally, like everybody just see him is like, like what's up with him? Like, why is he drawing us like this? Like, what is it about him? Like, there's something genuine, there's something real. To even like where people that are ruthless as Shanks can literally be around Luffy and just become the bubbliest guy. I feel like the reason why the aspiration matter is because if I'm trying to get somebody's recognition, for example, let's look at something like Stain. You feel me? Somebody who was an anti-hero that his whole personality was that like how people were doing things just to get something out of it. I feel like for Luffy, for Naruto, it was let me try to get friendship. Let me try to get acknowledgement from like doing these things, like because I still wanted the people to accept me. And then at some point, like he had to move past that because finally doing these things that were getting people to accept you is not necessarily getting you like genuine feelings because these people genuinely some like after pain we saw it not after pain during the war we saw it when he shared his chakra because it's like y'all really treated me like shit but regardless of that I went out and like I proved I did what I'm supposed to as a ninja And that's why like I could never deny Naruto's heroism. Like as far as like the ceiling that he was from where he started to the ceiling of his show, he's done everything that he's could. I just feel like the stakes of One Piece are just way higher. You feel me? Because one, I'm not setting out to be a hero. I just so happen to set out, and this journey is literally seemingly taking me everywhere where I need to and where I don't need to. Because sometimes you sail in One Piece, the waves throw you to God nowhere, or you go to the belt line, nothing is working. You just go wherever you have to go. But however, wherever I go, no matter what I see, I don't know if it's people being treated unfairly, people are sick, people are enslaved, the world government is on here. Like I'm getting involved. Like Luffy's concept consequences is not in it. Like I'm gonna take action because they were just wrong. Even in this fight versus Kaido, when he's expressing his dreams, he does not talk about wanting to be recognized or like him wanting to be, because we still have a dream that he has not shared that people are like, oh, that's silly and everything. So there is like something that's very innocent that he has, that, like that he'll hold in deep, regardless of wanting to be a pirate and whatnot. But when he's fighting Kaido, he literally tell him, "What I want is a world where everybody can just eat food." He didn't say I wanted somebody. He said everybody. Like I feel like that would just like his mentality is that of innocence. You feel me? Like there was no lavish thing or anything like that. I just want a world where like these things, small islands, I've been able to liberate and let people have their choice of their own. I feel like that's just what he's thinking about. When he's saying like I want everybody to eat, like I want everybody to be happy, like not have to worry and things. Like I just want equality. He didn't say I wanted my friends. He didn't say I wanted the people in my village. I just want people. I want everybody to be able to eat. Like that's just what he's been moving. And then now when you're paying attention to everything that's happening in the story, and that's what I mean by layers, in Naruto, there is not something as like a superior authority that is influencing the world continuously, like from whether that's in the past, in the present, or whatnot. Up until the Osusukis are present, you don't really feel that, like, because they're the power level that's able to impose that. However, in the world of One Piece, now we know that it's Imu that is doing it, but the world government literally has a hold of the whole world. So regardless of like these small regions that you go to and might find like a villain, you're seeing still the influence of the whole world. So even if you're moving to fight these small villains, you still have to move cautiously for the big dog. But when he first run into those things, he's like, no, these niggas are doing wrong. People are like, are you crazy? Are you mental? In the world of One Piece, somebody like Zebek is literally known simply for having a taboo about going against the world government. But this kid is already like launching towards that. Like he sees a Celestial doing wrong. I'm a rocket shit. Are you
I was
crazy?
just about to
You
say
don't
he
do that
just
in this
punched a
world. That
celestial
does not
dragon.
exist. That's why I feel like he's a hero. Because regardless of me being ready or being able to address the issues, I'm just moving with the conviction that the hero should. There is no there's nowhere I'm going where I'm going to be like less than just because of the people here or because of the influence or because I'm scared. I'm just gonna move straight through. That's just why I feel like
I just
he
I have one question before I say my last thoughts on that.
Mhm.
Is everybody that fights the world government a hero?
No.
Okay. Um, the only thing I would disagree, because I feel like you made a statement in there where you said that Luffy is moving to, not said this verbatim, but was just aiming the fact that Luffy's help is for like a higher purpose and Naruto's wasn't like that until later on. I just want to remind niggas that Naruto, his ideals changed villains, changed villages, and got the world to inspire the world to band together for a world for a war. And I understand niggas are going to be like, no, actually, Gara was the general, he was the leader. Gara drew to Naruto as an example of why they were fighting together. You feel me? And so I think it again, the Otsutsuki's and Kaguya being introduced overlooks that aspect in Naruto's heroism at all. As a kid, he's made people that had who are quote unquote evil, who are quote unquote living in the darkness, to be able to change their ways just by simply And niggas make fun of it all the time, talking to them. Like, yes, he has talk no jutsu, but at the end of the day, he also represents a character that I don't need to kill you to change your heart. I don't need to beat your face into the ground to change your heart. Like, we gonna fight, but at the end of the day, I need you to listen to me. And he's done that countless times, from a 12-year-old all the way to how old he is right now. Again, he's used that mindset to change the mindset of villages. The Sand Village, for a big example. The Cloud Village, for a big example. Yeah, I just, like I said,
But I'm confused as far as like what you were saying, like, because I didn't understand what you were saying, like what I said between Naruto and where like Luffy, how
basically what I interpreted that you were saying about Luffy was basically saying that what he was doing is helping a higher purpose, because you believe that there's higher stakes and
oh
One Piece and Naruto, that
then Naruto.
all these are going to connect to him taking down the world government. Like, I understand that, but
I'm not. That's not what
Naruto.
I meant, by the way. I just
No,
want to
no,
clarify.
okay. If that's not what you meant, but then my only counter argument, not even a counter argument. My last statement was to just say that yes, like, Luffy is going against the world government, and he's been doing things to continuously take down the world government. But not only did Naruto beat gods for the not only did Naruto beat gods for the betterment of the world, but he also was able to unify a world that was constantly battling with each other. And we see it in the flashbacks all the time. The villages were always beefing, always. Naruto's influence created peace between villages. Like, that's how, like, we started with the tuning exams there, and Naruto's first tuning exam. That's the first time that the Sand Village was able to get invited. You fast forward to Boruto, all the villages are in tuning exams together. Like, that's a little example from everything that he's done.
No, that's fair. But like just to kind of clarify what I said earlier, and then add to that, when I'm saying like Naruto has something bigger to deal with, I'm talking about as far as like influence. No, not Naruto. Luffy. And I'm talking about the influence. I'm talking about like, because Naruto, like, I'll say within every village that he's went to, there is a conflict for him to deal with. But the same thing can be said for Luffy. Like, within every island that you went to, there's a conflict to deal with. But however, consistently, there's also the influence of the world government. That's what I was saying. Like, there is this bigger picture that's looming over your head all the time, to where like even after you like liberate an island or like even influence the people, immediately after, this is where the Marine come in, and you gotta dip, you gotta run, because like there is a constant fight. That's what I was saying. But like as far as like what you said with the talk no jutsu, like those things I agree with. Trust me, like Naruto's influence, the reason why talk jutsu is a meme is because of that. Like, he is able to move people, but in the same way that he's moving people, Luffy's doing the same way, and Luffy's doing it in his action. However, there has been times where he necessarily had to open his mouth. Like one of our most viral clip is Kenny talking about that Momonosuke moment. You know what I'm saying? Like, teaching you how to stand up for yourself, because like you are supposed to be the king. I'm not just gonna come all the time and like handle your issues. Sometimes, like maybe sometimes I need to instill that into somebody, or like other times I need to have a 1v1 with these people that are doing wrong but are still in need. So where I have to come and like kind of save y'all, but like kind of teach you about the proper mannerism. Like, y'all take it, like y'all treating these people as lesser than. So I feel like there's always been like these aspects of him. And it's not, and for Luffy too, this is another aspect too. It's not always that I can save you. I feel like Luffy's not gonna sit down and like stress down that, oh no, I have to resonate with these people. Some people are just evil, and I'm gonna just leave it at that. And I'm gonna slide for my homies for that. So that's why I'm saying, like, within his intentions, aspect, whatnot, like he's been able to move random people. And I feel like in the world of One Piece, because of the aspect of people joining your crew, joining your fleet, it's more accentuated, to where now Luffy has literal evil people helping you now for your path, because I have inspired you. Like, forget about you, just me steering you off the evil that you were doing. But no, like today I'm able to get you on my side to help me move people the way I'm moving now. That's the only reason I'm going with him, because of that. And like obviously with the aspect of destiny, we saw what he's destined to do. Like, you feel me? with the presence of Emu and the world government, at the end of the day, when you're looking at a story, it's obvious that it's one person that's gonna have to deal with that.
Nah, I feel you. I understand y'all's points. I understand y'all's points. I just cannot give it to that pirate.
I can't give it to the pirate.
You gonna give it
But
to the ninja?
Yeah.
right?
You know, ninjas are originally samurai without honor, right?
Ninjas are originally thieves.
That too.
So they were adopted into the samurai, and then the whole no honor thing. But they were originally thieves. But these ninjas fight to protect their loved ones. This is Naruto is the original anime where what's that thing y'all like to say about fairy tale? You know, the power of friendship, and Naruto got hell of that. Hella power of friendship. If you get your
And
tail
two,
out my
think about
face.
these aspects. I feel like when you're looking at them at face value, Carl is more right. Within the One Piece verse, it's like you see pirates, you run. And then at the first of Naruto, like One Piece, what's used to happen? Scared, pirates are here. But nah, these are pirates you need to be here. And then niggas will get happy. Like, nah, there are good pirates in this shit.
Talking
And
about
that's
these the
Luffy
pirates
in there.
that need to be here. This nigga Zoro could have just escaped when he was first introduced in Wano when we first this nigga slaughtered dozens
Oh, you
just off
don't, but they're
just
evil. Why would I
just
let
off
them
a
be?
whim. I understand, but just slaughtered dozens. They was just trying to do their job.
No, there was a
No,
slasher.
they was
What are you talking
not.
Well,
about?
what do you mean? No, they were not.
There was
Like
somebody that was killing people.
they were trying to do their job. It was
No, they were killing
one nigga
people.
that was killing people, not the
And
whole
the other
15 of
niggas
them.
was under him.
Not the whole 15 of them. Stop it. Stop it.
No, he was trying to kill that
Stop
nigga. The
it.
other nigga
Stop
stepped in,
it.
so obviously he
That's
got that
like
too.
look, and nigga was just, those niggas was there for a check. That's all I gotta say.
We're gonna act like Sasuke's not pulling up somewhere like everybody now on the floor dead. What?
Nah, bro, I'm not having it.
Come
But
on, bro, get out of
look,
here.
y'all got
Get out of
Luffy.
here.
Yeah, I just want to let everybody know. Get off the camera. I just want to let everybody know that favorite anime, favorite character bias definitely played into this.
That's not my favorite.
This is the only out of all these matchups. This is the only time where favorite anime bias played into this matchup. I just want to
That's
y'all
crazy.
did good all the way up until Luffy, and I knew that
The
was
thing
going to
is,
happen.
I knew that this was gonna be the energy, so that's why I was like, I gotta add Naruto and Luffy in it again. Let the mayhem start.
It's
But
we didn't even use any
because
bias. It's literally just facts. I only use factual statements.
look, you know who's not biased, Carlo? The viewers. So you watching this, let us know. Who do you think is the real hero? Naruto or One Piece? As you can see, every time we have this conversation, this is how it goes. So we can't provide y'all the answer. But we appreciate y'all for tuning in, man. This was a little bit of a long one. Wanted to make it short, but obviously it's a lot of fun. I can't help it. Y'all be sure to share this with your friends, with your families, and as always, you know who to send this to. You know, if you don't send it to her, I'm gonna come to your house and I'm gonna play for her. That's all I gotta say. So send this to your grandmama. We'll see y'all next week.